Keith, welcome to the Sticker Book Challenge. In front of you, you've got your very own sticker page with some big questions on it. It's nice and simple. All we want you to do is pick your favourite sticker from each pack to pop on the board. Make sense?
Absolutely.
First one's really easy. Don't have to do anything. Just
okay.
A nice picture of you to get the board started, get it looking like yours.
Lovely.
Happy with that one?
Yeah.
Is this an official management photo?
I sincerely hope not.
No.
No. Well, I collected them as a kid, so...
oh, did you?
Yeah, this is quite surreal.
Let's start with the first question, and that is set piece star. So we want to know which of these set piece takers you think is the most iconic.
Okay, so we've got, oh, very good. James Ward-Prowse, didn't enjoy playing against him. David Beckham, Ivan, was only at the club for a short time with Ivan, and Rory Delap.
Before we get into these, you've had an interesting career and in your last role as a set piece coach. Give us an insight into what that's like day to day, because it's such a big role now, isn't it? You hear about it at all the big clubs.
It was very different for me because it's something that I hadn't done in a full-time capacity before. When you come here and you do it in the nature that it's done here and the way I wanted to devote my time to it and really give it the respect that it deserved, it's full-time. It's 90% of your work, I would say, is on set pieces. The way you change the way you look at the game, the way the team is picked. I would have constantly challenged Thomas on who we should play because they would be more effective at set pieces.
Really? So that would be a dynamic where you'd say you think this person should start because of their edge in set pieces?
I wouldn't tell them that was why. I would try and sell it in a different way. But there was definitely that mindset shift of looking at the game more from a tactical perspective to specifically through the lens of set pieces. Some clubs you just work on it the day before. It's not given the respect that it gets at this football club, but I think here it very much gets that, and it will continue to get that. Okay,
let's look at some of these options then. Some great set piece takers here.
When I was younger, obviously David Beckham was so iconic from direct free kicks, and obviously his crossing technique is probably one of the best that we've seen in modern day and still playing now. Obviously James Ward-Prowse's delivery, I would say, worries me whenever I've come up against him, especially last season. So when he wasn't on the team sheet, when we played one of the games, I was pretty happy. Ivan, I touched on, he's someone that was at the club last year, an iconic figure at this football club. But I have to say, it's Rory Delap for me, and I probably wouldn't have said that 12, 15 months ago before I came to the club.
Okay.
I remember playing against Stoke for Blackburn. Sam Allardyce was our manager at Blackburn at the time, and if the ball went towards the corner flag in any way, he wanted our defenders to kick it out for a corner and not a long throw.
Really, because it was that effective?
It was. I think when you think about long throws, you don't have to face that many very often. I think it's come back into the game a little bit, but I remember as a player with Rory and the carnage it caused, and I quite like the carnage it causes when we do it. Okay,
so throw-ins, Rory Delap is going into your first spot.
Rory's in, set piece star.
Let's go with magic moment then next up. So we want to know which of these moments in your career is the best so far. So this is from your playing career.
Oh wow. So becoming Wolves captain, winning League 2 with MK Dons, my Ireland debut, and playing at Euro 2012.
Some good moments here. You were the youngest captain in over a century, is that right? And then scored on this one as well on your debut. So how much will your experience as a player contribute to how you approach players now in management? Hugely.
I think these photographs give a good indication of the snakes and ladder style of my career. Careers very, very rarely are linear in terms of going straight to the top. I often find you need to have failures, have injuries, have disappointments to develop that resilience, to be able to come through and ultimately be a better person and a better competitor. I think players that get things all their own way can potentially be a little bit spoiled and not realise what the big bad world is all about. I certainly didn't have that. Some of that was down to me and mistakes I made in the early stages of my career and wasn't as professional enough as I should have been. I quickly learned that I had to do things in a certain way, and I've done that for a very long time. I think careers in the game aren't easy, but what it gave me was an understanding of all 4 divisions, international football, and then I flipped it when I retired, so I've coached every single age group. God knows how many different nationalities. And I think the journey that I've had, I think gives me a really good understanding of players, where they're at, different age profiles, and in recent years coaching different nationalities again, how you connect in different ways from people from different landscapes and different religions. I think it's really important to understand, respect it and understand it as much as you can.
And which part of that journey then, out of these 4 moments, would go into your magic moment spot?
Has to be my Ireland debut. Again, going back to my career and the up and down nature of it, I ended up playing in League Two at the age of 24, and my sole target was to play for Ireland, and that was my ambition, and I didn't do that until I was 28. I was very fortunate to be able to do that and represent my country on numerous occasions, so it would definitely be my Ireland debut.
Ireland debut into that magic moment. Next up, we've got tactical genius. So we want to know which of these iconic Premier League managers you've been most inspired by. Okay. This is a hard choice. I wouldn't want to be making the decision.
Wow. Pep Guardiola. Wow. Sir Alex. Arsene Wenger. And Jurgen Klopp.
So when you think about your own philosophy as a manager, do you look to managers like this who have achieved so much to shape things, or are you quite individual with your approach?
I think the best coaches are creative thieves. I think you look at iconic managers, which all 4 clearly are. You look at the way they built their teams and the styles, the philosophies, the DNA of the teams, and what made it successful, the consistency in which they built their teams. What are their fundamentals of what that team looks like with, without the ball, how they manage players, how they build team after team. I'm looking at Sir Alex in particular around that and how he was able to do that over such a long period of time. And then the 2, I suppose, most modern ones, Pep obviously still managing the Premier League.
You'll be facing him this season.
Yeah, which will be really special. Yeah, you take little bits from all of them, obviously, and obviously all 4 of them have had phenomenal careers in management.
They all belong in this spot, we know
They
that,
do, yeah.
But we are going to push you to choose one of them. And just in terms of not even who you think's the best, but who inspires you the most, maybe part of their journey or their philosophy.
I think it's just the respect that I have for Sir Alex is the one, because of the longevity, the success that he brought that football club, the way the team played in a very Manchester United way over for so many years. The way he reinvented the style of the team, players left, players came in, loved developing young players, which I'm passionate about, and ultimately he was a winner.
He's a winner, so he's going into your 4th spot. Don't think many people would disagree with that one. Next up, we've got Midfield Maestro. So you've played against some top midfielders. We want to know which of these you think is the best.
These are generational greats. So Frank Lampard, Steven Gerrard, Cesc Fabregas, got a good story about him, and Paul Scholes.
We'll share your story then, you've teed us up.
So we played Arsenal. It was his first season breaking through. He was probably 16 or 17, wherever he was when he broke through, and he was playing in midfield with Patrick Vieira. I played in midfield I was at Wolves, it was the Cup. We played Paul Ince and Alex Ray, who were 2 senior pros at the time. And the manager said to me before the game, you have to man mark Patrick Vieira. I was like, okay, that's great news. Patrick Vieira he could be here as well, couldn't he?
Yeah.
And at half time he switched it and I had to go and mark the 17-year-old because he was that good.
So you had the early introductions of just how good he was.
Yeah, phenomenal talent, and obviously the career that he's had has been amazing.
And these 3, there's often a debate, isn't there, between Lampard, Gerrard and Scholes. Where do you sit on it?
All very different attributes, all great for their respective clubs. The goal scoring capabilities of Frank Lampard was just staggering in that Jose team in particular. I just loved watching them. I thought they were a phenomenal team, full of winners. Steven Gerrard, all action, could do everything that I think a central midfielder should be able to do. I think too many have been pigeonholed into certain positions that they can either sit and pass or they can run beyond, and not all action and all round midfielders. And I think you've seen different varying levels of Paul Scholes, as in, was he deep at times, was he the one that played as a second striker? I think he was probably one of the most intelligent players that I've ever played against, and I have to say didn't particularly enjoy playing against any of them because they were so talented. And this is a very difficult one because Paul Scholes is probably one of my favourite players of all time, but I'm going for Steven Gerrard because I think, again, he's an iconic player and he drove that football club forward.
So is he the one going down in your spot, or he the one out of those 3?
He's
going in.
Sorry, Cesc.
Even though you've had to...
Yeah, well, Cesc was only 17.
17. Steven Gerrard. Some icons on this board already, isn't there? Finally then, we have got manager goals. So we want to know which of these you'd most like to achieve during your time as manager.
Okay. Qualifying for Europe, win manager of the season, win the Carabao Cup, win the FA Cup.
Just want to ask, first of all, what was your initial reaction when you were told that you were going to be the Brentford manager?
It was yes. It wasn't expected. I think that's fair to say. Big change in the summer, a lot of change in the football club, the most in numerous years. Thomas is obviously in charge for a long, long time. It's been very stable, and it still is a very stable football club. Still a brilliant football club that is hugely ambitious to achieve things. I was asked to speak to the relevant people around it, the opportunity to, and clearly it was something that I felt I'd built towards for a long time. I think there's probably been a little bit of a stigma attached to me last season as being a set-piece coach going to a head coach, and granted that isn't the done thing in football. I'm very aware of that, but I think I'm very well placed to take over the reins from Thomas, and it was a pretty simple decision, really.
And if we look at some of these options, what would you sway towards as being the one you'd love to achieve during your time here? You laughed at this one. So.
I did laugh at that one, yeah. I think that would be reflective, obviously, of the team doing really well, winning manager of the season, and from a personal accolade, yeah, that would be amazing. And you would have to have a pretty special season to achieve that. So it all kind of ties in. I think for me, the FA Cup is still really special. I come from an era where I can still remember watching programmes from early in the morning, the teams arriving at the hotel, the teams going on the walk, and an FA Cup final day was epic. It was in everybody's calendar, and I still think it's a special cup competition. I really do.
You saw it with Crystal Palace last season, how much it elevated them and their fans.
And the two cups last year with not the big boys, if you like, winning them. I know the big clubs in their own right, but not the traditional ones that have dominated these competitions from most of the years in recent times. So that was nice last year. I think it freshened it up, and it's not something that we have to do. I think at some stage this club needs to make that step of winning a trophy. So if I had to choose one, it would be the FA Cup.
FA Cup going into that manager goal. Happy with how that board's shaped up?
Yeah, it looks
pretty good, doesn't it?
Apart from the facials on this one.
Best of luck for the season, Keith. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
And that was the Stick of It Challenge with Keith Andrews.